Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pre-Market Live Show. It's Friday, April 25th, and we'll see how the markets open up. But first, all information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How is everybody this morning? Here you go. It's a little bit red. Google and Meta are really green, and Amazon and Tesla are up. The rest of the market's a little bit down at the moment. So we'll go through that in a minute. First, let's go through our Jolie's jumpers and see what they're going on. What's going on with these poppers? And AREB still popping up here, and we were talking about it, and we liked it yesterday, and here it goes, another run up. So that's a beauty. We are all over that. AAZTR, we looked at this thing. It was popped up, I think, yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, it did pop up yesterday. Ran a little bit today. Look for a little pullback for it to get set up for next week, though. You can see that. And BKYI, that one, I think Barbara asked about this one. We were looking at it. Looks like it's up a little bit. Let me see what it's doing this morning. I know it was running yesterday. We were looking at it to get through to 50. It did break through just a little bit, but not a whole lot. So you did catch a little extra room on that one because it closed at 94. Its high was 98. Well, it only got up to 97. So right around that top, we were talking about that last night. And CEP, and this one was cruising along yesterday. It just pulled back this morning. Understandable, because that was a huge run up right there the last 2 days for Cantor Equity Partners. So there you go. That's a shell company. And CEP and OLB right here. Let's take a look at it and see. It's gotten up to the top and into the top right there. Let's see if it wants to run up there. It might not. It ran up pretty good already. It looks like it might be coming back down. Keep an eye, see if it can turn around and continue to get green and run up for OLB. Not too bad right there, but it did run up. And OMEX. This one popped up big yesterday and continued to run this morning. So you got a little more out of it right there. And there you go. It did jump up to that 136 yesterday. It only got up to 113. So it's at 102 right now. And we'll keep an eye on it. It is in the top trying to run up there. So keep an eye on that OMEX and TMDE. Remember, this was Laptop Travel. He liked this one. And he was looking at it. Did bounce up this morning right there. You can see it was way down there last night, and it did move a little bit. It looks like it might have opened up a little. Oh, let me see. Actually, it pulled back a little. That's what it looks like there. So I know it was pulling back yesterday. We'll keep an eye on this TMDE. This is a new one, but it was a really nice dip right there. And how about UPXI right here? And that thing was running up, and that stayed in the top. Pretty impressive right there. I didn't think it was going to, but it is. And again, just be careful with it. It is stuck in the top, but it might come back down at some point. So there you go. It's your Jolie's jumpers. Thank you very much, Asian Jolie. And good morning, everybody. David, Asian Jolie, Louis Rodriguez, Laptop Travel, Barb, Doge Mama 9, and everybody else that's hopping on. How is everybody on a Friday morning? We'll go through our laptop lowdowns real quick, and then we'll go through and see what you guys want to see. And there's a TMDE. We just talked about it. And here's AgriForce or AgriForce Growing System, AGRI. It popped up the other day, just pulling back right there. Nothing too crazy. FLI right here, Dragonfly. That one's going to be a good one for next week. Look at us getting set up. Drop down a level right there. Let's keep an eye on the Dragonfly, see if it wants to fly up next week. And ELAB, let's see this. That was way down the other day. I saw this beat down there, and it jumped up, it looks like, after that big dip. Let me take a better look. And that is yesterday's date, and it went 276 to 544. So it ran up yesterday and then pulled back. I don't even know if I realized it ran up yesterday, but I knew it was running around. I had noticed that one. ELAB and ELDS. Here we go. ELDS. There we go. Oh, hold on. Is that what it is? ELDS. No, I don't see anything for that. ELDS. No, that's all right. We'll go to gels. I know that one was popping the other day and just kind of running flat right now. And that's GELS. So we'll have to see. It looks like it's trying to crawl back into the top. We'll have to look at that and see if it wants to right there. And let's take a look at INT. What is it? INTS. Oh, here we go. INTS. Here we are in Intensity Therapeutics. It's an intensity kind of market right now. Look at this big dip. This one could have some intensity next week. We'll keep an eye on it. And this kids right here is definitely setting up. It was up a little bit yesterday, running around, and we'll see. It's getting really close to curling through right there, or at least hitting the MACD. So you're going to want to keep an eye on KIDZ right there, and move MOVE Movano. Looks like it is trying to move again. It moved recently. It popped up for us, and it looks like it's trying to move again, making a nice base. So keep an eye on MOVE and NLN. Hold on. What is that? NLN. I don't see that one. Let's see if it's over here. I don't see a match for that, but PHIO right here. Let's see this guy. Oh, this one's going to pull back and then roll off that MACD. So this one will be a good one. I know it ran up the other day. It is getting set up. You can see it. Look at that setup happening and running back up. So PHIO, one for next week. PRPO. I'm going to just write that one down. And PRPO right here ran up, and let's see what it's doing this morning. PRPO, what's it up to? Yeah, it ran up yesterday, just kind of hanging out. Ran up 2 days ago, just came down yesterday and not doing anything yet this morning, as a matter of fact. And SNYR, if I could read, it would help. How about SNY? That one's in the channel, not too bad, but we'll look at this one. Synergy, and this thing is pulling back and going to bounce up, so that's going to be a good one for next week to roll off. And let's see what VINC is doing right here. VINC, and this one was beaten down. This has been on the popping up around some scanners. I've seen it on some when I'm scrolling around there. So it is trying to make a base, but it is way down there. We'll see. As it curls up, we know it'll run. And WXM, this is a new one down in the basement. And yeah, we'll look at it. It did run up when it initially opened up over here on April 1st, April Fool's Day. April 2nd came down, and it's been down ever since. So take a look at that. And thank you very much, Laptop Travel. Greatly appreciate them. And let's see what else is going on here today. Trump asserts trade talks with China are underway after Beijing denies any ongoing negotiations. So one side says yes, the other side says no. Who the hell knows what's going on? Good morning, Laptop Travel and team. How is everybody? And let's see what else you guys want to see. BTCT, that was running up the other day. We had looked at it, and it is moving up a little bit today. It ran up. Is that today? Yes, it is. It ran up. Just look, it could have a little bit of pullback as it gets set up. You can see as that 20 gets moving there. It says it's just sitting there at 418, but it is it was cruising around yesterday, and like I said, just keep an eye on if it pulls back a little into this channel, it should get set right back up right there. So that's BTCT. And UNH, this one's been beaten down pretty good, and it is just kind of going flat. And we'll look at it next week. It is just making a base down here. We just want to make sure it does want to curl up, and you still have some days. You can see it on the histogram right there. So you still have some time on that one. And SOUN. Let's see what SOUN. I can't get my fingers on the damn keyboard right. SOUN, good old Soundhound was jumping up. It's at the 50 right now, just kind of hanging out. And again, the market, every time you think it's going to be green, it's a little bit red and has pulled back, had great momentum yesterday. And now they're just sitting there. But you have to kind of think what they're doing, and they don't want to jumping up too fast, too high, because then you got to really dip it down, and they don't like them huge dips because people get upset about that. So we'll see if they keep them. Like I said, I'm surprised they weren't keeping them in this channel, but you could easily put it right back in there. And that's Soundhound right there, not looking bad. AGMH is looking pretty legit this morning. The Ghetto Stoic, that one does look pretty good again. It was moving once up to today. I did see that, and it jumped up even higher. So keep your eye on this AGMH. I know we went over it. And yeah, look at it. It's trying to run up a little higher than it did the other day. It almost got to 10 cents. And this morning it was pushing over 8. So there you go with ADG. Oh my God. There's no D in it. AGMH. I can't even talk. There you go. So yeah, Ghetto Stoic. I think that is looking good for today. So keep your eye on that guy. And let's see what SLI is doing. Standard Lithium. And it is hitting that. Has good resistance up there. SLI. Let's see. It did run up pretty good the other day, it looks like. And let me take a better look again and just see. It is trying to curl up right there. Just look, it has a kind of crazy look, like it wants to pull back, but also go up at the same time. I would just look for a little healthy pullback on this one, and then it will get rolling again. And that ATPC is agape. And I know we were looking at this, and it did run up yesterday some, and now it's pulling back a little. ATPC. Let's see what this is doing right here. And yeah, it did run up there yesterday, kind of topped out, and now you're getting a little pullback. So you might get it back down into like the 180s somewhere in this area. It probably will pull back a little more today. It does have that trend line right there, but it might fall back down and get down to that one. So we'll keep an eye on that ATPC, and it's not bad. Did run up right there. I know you were looking at it. It ran up, but it does look like it's pulling back a little bit right there, Barbara. And good morning. Happy Friday. And FCEL. Let's see what's going on with this fuel cell. Making a nice base down here. I can see that. FCEL. And yeah, that's not looking bad, guys. Fuel cell, I'll have to add that to the list over here and keep an eye on fuel cell. It's not looking too bad. And Barbara said she threw some money at GNLN in the after hours to sell this morning. Let me see. Oh, she missed the pop at 4 a.m. I didn't even know it popped because I missed it too. So let's see what it did. It probably did run up this morning because it was way down. And let's see what it did. It'll still pop up. It did go. Let me see. It did pop up a little bit and then came right down. You're not kidding. So we did have that little extra pop, and then you're pulling back a little bit flat, and you'll probably get a little run up on it at this point. And but it may keep dipping down, so make sure you're paying attention to get that little run up on it, and you could get it today right here. So so yeah, there you go. And you're laughing. I couldn't read AGMH, Ghetto Stoic like that one. But yeah, that thing looks really good. Look at that curling up into that channel, and you have a lot of room up there. I mean, it could go from 5 to 10 with no problem right there. What it do already? 5 to 8. So yeah, it's cruising right along. You can see AGMH not looking bad, and we were looking at it when it was down in the basement down here. And what's our logic mark doing? Is it waking up? It's still down here. It dipped back down yesterday in the after hours, like late in the after hours, like I said, like 7, 8 o'clock. And now it's just hanging out. It's not doing anything. It's just sitting there this morning where it was last night, because that's where it was. So we'll have to see what it is up to. And let's see. It says it even moved around. It could have very well moved around this morning. So it does say it opened up a little bit higher, so like a tenth of a penny higher, and it got up to that 0.092 and it came back down. So hopefully it wakes up and starts to move right here. And that BON, keep your eye on this. It is getting set up. I don't think we have to make sure that they don't have a reverse split. That's all you're looking at with this. So we'll make sure it's not reverse splitting. But I'm telling you, this one's going to get set up as well. So we're watching that for next week. That's going to be a popper right there. And AREB we already looked at, and it is jumped up there. Look at that, up over 460, rolling right along. BDRX doesn't like to move in the morning, but keep your eye on this. It was running up yesterday pretty good and doesn't look too bad to continue. And let's see, there you go. Hit. That one wasn't looking too bad either. So just a couple good ones that are setting up that we've been watching. And this one's been bouncing around trying to curl up. So just keep an eye on that guy right there. And this UOKA, this thing not moving yet, but was jumping around. Icon wasn't looking bad, and it's just sitting flat right there. How about Wang and Lee? He's just hanging out at 21 cents. It was down at 18 the other day. And when we were looking at down here, I know it was down 17. Look at that. It was even lower. Yeah, 16. And now you're at 21. I told you Wang and Lee were starting to move, and there you go. So Wang and Lee cruising along right there. And let's see. And then we'll keep our eye on this thing, WRD. This thing looks like it's going to get set up as well, a software application in China. So we'll keep an eye on that. And SOXL, what's the Soxl doing? It's down a hair. And again, we'll keep an eye on the market just to see what's going on. That TeraWulf's up a little bit. I noticed that this morning. And there you go. I would say we got all them. And Toyota Motors at 190. Look at that. Holy cow. There you go. Lewis Rotter, that might be the most perfect call ever right there, guys. I mean, holy shit. And I would really be careful. It does look like it wants to jump up, but on a Friday being a little red, and you never know what's going to happen over a weekend, you might want to be careful with that. And I know you ran it up pretty good, so I'm betting you're cashing that in for a nice weekend hit right there, for a nice weekly hit. And yeah, look at that. I mean, it does not look bad to still continue its way up. Look at this thing. It does look good. It depends on how many options you have, but I would probably sell like one or two and keep a couple for the run right there. Make sure you lock in some of the profits and then see if it wants to run up. That's what I would be looking at right there, Luis Rodriguez. But that was a beauty, I must say. And good call with Toyota Motor right there. I mean, he nailed this thing from all the way down here and just he was confident it was going up, and it sure did. And let's see what else is going on this morning. If I see anything else happening here, let me take a look at the market and see. It is just kind of a chilling Friday, which is perfectly fine because things are starting to look a little better. And now we have to see if they're going to pull back for next week. And this is what I was kind of talking about the other day, how, they want to keep them in these channels and stuff. So they're not going to want to run them up too fast, too high. But let's look at our SPY and our big caps and see what they're up to. The SPY's down 28 cents. It's not looking bad. It just ran up yesterday. And we'll look at the rest of them. Apple right here, that just pulled back $2, coming back down again. They don't want these things all the way up here. Then you got to really maintain them. So it's easier to maintain them here. And like I said, it's probably easier to maintain them down here, but I could see why you jump them up here to make all that room. And now you have look at this. Now you can go from channel to channel if you really wanted to. And Trump's going to be doing it. So that's what we're going to be looking at for next week. Obviously, exactly what they want to do. Amazon ran up a little bit, but looks like it's trying to pull back some at the moment. So we'll see how much it runs up. And Google was obviously blasted up and ran up over that 50. So Google looking good right there, GOOG. But again, be careful. It'll probably pull back into that channel and get set up. So that's what you're going to be looking at. But it was a beautiful run up right there. And let's look at Meta META. And that one jumped up yesterday, and it's just hanging out. What's it doing today? Hold on. It is just kind of hanging out, 554 to 555. So, yeah, yesterday, and like I said, they look like they're going to just kind of pull back. They don't want them running up too much too fast, and then you have to make them dip really hard. You don't want to do that. Microsoft just over that channel. So they all have that same look, guys, and we'll see how they open up and where exactly they're going to take them if I could type in the video right there, and the same exact look as well. And, of course, Tesla right here is up a little bit. I think you're going to hit that 50 and come down. But look at that setup coming up. So it is looking pretty good for whatever reason. Something's going on. Tesla, I would say Elon's going back to work. That's what's happening right there. And let's take a look and see what the rest of these guys are doing. AMC, that was just, it's getting set up, guys. I would keep an eye on it for next week. GameStop isn't bad, just sitting right there. And Chewy's been looking good. It's down a little bit, but this thing's been setting up. And Unity's not looking bad, but a little bit of pullback over that 50 right there. So them guys aren't too bad. And, of course, Netflix has been running. It's pulled back $3. And, again, up at the top, could see a little bit of pullback. We'll see how the morning opens up for them. And that is your Netflix and AVGO, our semiconductors, pulling back just a hair. and probably going to stay in this channel. So keep an eye for that. And MU, look at it. They got into the channel. It has good resistance and support, and they can just run them right around there. So our semiconductor's not looking bad, just sitting in this channel. So look for a little healthy pullback, and then they'll get rolling again next week, I would assume. Here's your SMCI. That one is up, and it is moving up towards that $40 mark. So keep an eye on that. And you did like that yesterday as well. And of course, when the market turned green, these things started to look really good. And SOX will look good. We already knew. I played that one. So yeah, the ETF was looking good. So you had to assume that the semiconductors were going to cruise up there, and they did. They're just kind of flat this morning, maybe a little healthy pullback, if anything. Nothing crazy. AMD and QCOM right here. Same exact. I mean, they all have that exact same look. Intel, that one was actually kind of pulling back. It is kind of pulling back, but not terrible. It's under the 20, but has good resistance on or support under here at like in the right around $19. So not terrible right there. Could pull back. And PayPal, that one is just, that has the same look as the rest of them. Snow is running up yesterday. It's only down a little bit. And again, it's over that 50, so not bad. Dell, same exact look, sitting there hitting the 50. It was up a little bit, but I would expect it to try to come down, stay in the channel. And PLTRO has been running up, and we liked that the other day when it was still at like 90, and now it's at 108. So there you go with Palantir and Sophie. Of course, that one was cruising up to the 50, looking like the rest of the market. And how about our Mara and Riot? Here's Mara just getting set up right here, looking really good for next week. And Riot getting set up, and CleanSpark's been getting set up and looking pretty good. So there's all them, and our MicroStrategy right here. Let's see, MSTR. There we go, a MicroStrategy, and that one's up a little bit and still looking good. So you know crypto is going to be ripping pretty soon when these all look good. And let's just look at our coin. That's up. Coinbase and Robinhood right there. That's up a little bit. So both of them not bad. And let's see what else is going on real quick. Let's see what our crypto's doing. Let me see what Bitcoin looks like. Oh, let me see. I got to put the right chart in here. What am I doing here? USD, and come down, and I'll tell you what all the prices are real quick. Bitcoin's at 94,000, just over 94,000. Sol's at 153, and Ethereum's at 1784. Ripple's at 220. Doge is at 18. Cardano's at 71. And Chainlink's back to 15. And I know HBAR was up a cent too. That was moving up at 18 cents or 19. It's back to 19, almost 20. So remember, I was telling you guys about HBAR last night, and it's up 5% right now. So there you go with that. And let's look at these things looking good, making a base in these 94. And you had that base here at 84, and now you got a base going at 94. And they do want to roll, guys. So keep an eye on crypto. We called it before it even started to move. I told you guys it was going to start moving, and I'm telling you, I started loading up some more heavier positions on them, and I'm glad I did, because they all just ran right up and they were perfect. So there you go with your crypto. You know, I love my crypto. It is a lot of fun, and it is going to be cruising. I'm telling you. And obviously, we'll look at ETF 500 Ethereum looking a little better, making that base at that 1700. It is in that channel right there. And let's see what Ripple's doing right here. Here is our Ripple over to 50 and not looking too bad. So let's look at ETF 500 and see where that's at real quick and see what's going on. It was at like 7 million market cap last night. I'll have to look and see where it's at this morning. I did not check it out. Where is it at? Here it is. Yeah, 6.9, and it's at 6.9 million market cap right now. So not looking bad, just kind of hovering around. And I think that's making a really nice base at this 6.9 market cap. Remember, I posted the last time it was making that base at the 5 million, and now we jumped up, I think, to the 6.9, and that's what it's been doing these last few days, just kind of making that base, which is always a beautiful thing, because you're going to run back up, and the next stop should be right around a penny, and right over that 9 million market cap. It'll hit over 8, go to 9, and then you'll be hovering around a penny. And once it gets to like that 1.2 area, 0.12, like right over a penny, it should start moving really good. It has some spots right there where it's got a little resistance it'll hit, but then once it gets through, it'll cruise, And I'm telling you guys, this thing could be the biggest coin of the entire run right here. And again, these meme coins, they do run crazy. We already know it. And look what Farcoin already did. So, and that's moving already right now. Farcoin is kind of moving. It's very popular. So obviously it's moving back up this morning, and that Trump's back to 1332. So that one jumped up this morning, I think, because that was back at 12, if I remember last night. So yeah, crypto looking really good right here. And ETF, like I said, 6.9 market cap, so not bad. IVVD, let's see. And this is in that channel, just trying to move right up, isn't it? IVVD. Oh, IVVD. Oh, why can't I type this morning? Holy cow. Here we go. IVVD. Yeah, it's not looking too bad right there. It's been running up. It might make a little bit of a base and try to go up higher. We'll have to see, but not too bad for that one, Luis Rodriguez. And we'll see how that reacts this morning. And let's go through and see what's going on here. The summer of revenge travel will be a distant memory this year, whatever that means. And U.S. futures slip on mixed trade news as Intel falls and a cruel summer looms. But here's why: J.P. Morgan still expects a higher S&P 500 finish this year. Stock market today: Dow futures waver. China vows to support economy and amid tariff strains, and stock futures slide after the 3-day winning streak right there. Let's see what's going on over here. That AGMH is looking good. That green lane is down a little bit, and there's that Damon just hanging out. OEMX, that ran yesterday up a little bit more. Keep an eye on this STSS. I've been watching it, see if it tries to set back up. And SOXS is probably up if XOXL is down this morning. And that JYD is running back up a little bit. We saw that the other day. And let's our logic mark. Come on, it's at 0.9, so it is moving a little bit. Let's wake up here today. And maybe it's waiting for next week, but it's right there, guys. I mean, it's getting ready. And of course, our AREB, that one is rolling at 450, and we did like that. So that was a good one. And BBAI, that's moving, and we gave you that one the other day as well. So there you go, a bunch of them rolling around. And let's see what's up. OLB, we talked about. Green Lane, CYCC, that one looks like it's trying to move. We'll keep an eye on that. And there's TDTH, OMEX, and not a whole lot on there, that's for sure. Let me see if there's anything else going on over here. Let's see. Hold on. Let me look and see if I see anything. Obviously, Google H bar, like I said, and that BCTX is down a little. Intel is down, and a bunch of crypto is up. Another good crypto coin is this SUI. That one's going to be a good one right here. This one's a pretty good one. SUI, if you're not familiar with this, you can keep an eye on this thing. It has been running up, and it seems to be a pretty decent one as well. So you can keep an eye on that one, because that one does seem to be a pretty decent one. And what is SWTX? I don't even know. Springworks Therapeutics, and that one is just kind of hanging out, maybe pulling back a little bit, but not doing anything crazy. I don't even think they have earnings or anything. I don't know. It's just kind of hanging out right there. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's doing anything real crazy. At least it doesn't look like it. So there you go. And that's what I see on the charts in the market this morning. So keep an eye on all that good stuff. And yeah, that H bar looking pretty good. We were all over that one, so you gotta love that. And like I said, my buddy T likes that thing, and I was saying it looked really good. And I know I got some, so I was loading up. I load up the good amount of it at the very bottom there. So there we go. And Logic Mark, look at this. It's moving a little bit. It's trying to wake up, and let's see, it's just sitting flat, but it does have a little bit of a greenness down there. So we'll see if it can get moving. I mean, it wants to. It's just a matter of if it will today or if it's going to be next week. It looked like it wanted to the other day. I'm telling you, it started to curl up really good and then just went into back to sleep. So we'll be keeping our eye on that and the other one. So there you go. I would say that's a pretty good pre-market review. We did our Jolie's jumpers, our laptop lowdowns. We checked out our crypto and our big cap SPY and everything else right there. Went through the messages. Let me see and make sure I didn't miss anything over here. Oh, there was one. Hold on. Let me see. Somebody did ask me to add one to the list last night, and I totally forgot. Who was that? Don't follow Dwight. I'm sorry. What was that one? SRPT. Let's look at that one. I totally forgot. It was looking good last night. I noticed it like in the middle of the night. I woke up and I just happened to be looking around, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot to add that. Let's see. It wasn't looking bad last night. I had that momentum, but obviously everything pulled back a little, not pulled back, but just kind of made a little base, a little healthy pullback. So that's all that's doing this morning. SRPT right here. So yeah, I don't even think it's moving on this one. Doesn't say it's moving yet over here. It does have it just kind of showing out. I think, yeah, it's just kind of hanging out there, and maybe even went down a little bit. So SRPT, and obviously we're just going to watch where it should start to curl up right there. So maybe next week that will be a decent one. So there you go. Don't follow Dwight. And let's see what else is going on. And Logic Mark has been a very weird one. STX Confidential is hitting me up about that, and I'm like I said, we'll see if it can wake up here. It is a little bit odd. So yeah, I wanted to make sure I got to that because I forgot to write it down. And there we go. I would say that's a pretty good market review right there, pre-market review. And like I said, here's our heat map right here, so you can see what it looks like. And your Google and Meta are green, and the rest of the market's just a little and I don't think it's going to be that bad of a day, but you do have mixed tariff news here. One country says it's going well, the other country says they're not even involved in negotiations yet. So who the hell knows what's going on? And again, we already know what Trump's doing. So I don't know if you can really believe anything right now because he's just saying whatever to manipulate the market to keep it where they need to do to get these rates down. And we already know what the agenda is. So and there you go, everybody. I would say that's a pretty good pre-market review. And I hope everybody has a great Friday, and make sure that you trade smart and lock in these profits. And again, here we go. It's it's just bouncing around. Doesn't look terrible. So thank you. And yeah, no problem. Ghetto Stoic. I do think keep an eye. That AGMH is looking really good this morning. It did jump up and just started looking good this morning. I must say, you could see it had a little healthy pullback right there, and it does look pretty good. So just keep your eye on that, and I'll keep you guys updated if I see anything else. And obviously, we'll be watching our Logic Mark and everything else in the market. And I'll tell you if I see anything happening on this Friday afternoon. And like I said, we're getting into almost May right here. So next week, we'll be getting into May at the end of the week. How crazy is that? So April rolled right through real fast. And again, we're already looking at the summer and what's going to be happening. So, and you can see crypto is going to be rolling. Will the markets be running? I don't know. I'm not so sure these markets will be cruising. They could still be doing this for 3-4 months, guys. But crypto is going to get running. You can see it happening. So make sure you're allocating properly, and you know that we've been all over everything, and we cover everything in the markets, and whether it's the stocks or crypto, meme coins, you name it, we got it covered. The only thing I really don't do is really OTCs. I'll look at them, but I'm just not an OTC expert on them charts. But everything else we just pretty much nail down with no problem. So there you go. And again, the market just pulling back a little bit after that run up yesterday, and it still ran up a little higher, but it just wants to slow itself down and not get too crazy there, especially going into the weekend. And that's what we're looking at, guys. So there you go. Any questions, let me know. I'll be around posting today and checking out the market, and I'll be working on some projects. Really, I don't know if I'll be posting that much if there's not anything really going on. But I'm telling you guys, some big projects are definitely coming up. I'm telling you that. And I'll be working on them like I have been. And there you go for our Friday pre-market. So have a great day of trading. Make sure you trade smart, lock in those profits. Goodbye. Good luck. See you later. And have a great day, everybody.